this is Gail with Life Coaching, the second part actually for the beginning of April 2024. We must remember it's 2024. Hasn't the time gone fast? I believe it's been a quick year so far. You know, as you get older, of course, it does go faster, but Right, so we're going to look at cards for April 2024 for you. So what is going on for you in your life this month? And I use the major cards because the major cards are about your actual journey, your actual story in life. So let us have a little look at the first card for April 2024. And just while I'm doing that, if you want to have an actual tarot reading, clairvoyant reading, medium, get in touch with a loved one, give me a ring, 027 4166 545. Right, back with Radio Hawke's Bay, your community radio that you can come and do a show on if you wish. Anything you know, anything that you are really interested in, come and talk to the guys down here. We're in Hastings and it's very easy to get to. So April 2024, I've got two cards out, so I'll just have a little look at another card, simply because if I look at them first, then it might influence the next cards. So to start with, and I will tell you because some of you actually look at the tarot cards, so please look at the Judgment card, okay? This is the Karma card. This is what you have done in the past. There are rewards for. So if you've done good deeds, you will start to see the results of those good deeds this month. This is a month where good things can happen. It's a month where karmic stuff happens. So we live our lives, we do things, we make mistakes, and that's part of learning and it's part of growing. If we don't learn by our mistakes, then sometimes something happens to give us a little bit of a wake up or a hang on a minute, you know, that's not working for you anymore, that's not okay, you need to change what you're doing. And I kind of look at karma as not a bad thing. It's balancing the scales. It's always about whatever bad things have happened, good things must follow to balance it up. We have a balance of things in the world. You might be looking just at all the atrocities that happen in the world, but I'm telling you, there are so many good things happening in the world. What if our news was all about good things? What if? It would be a more balanced world, I feel. Anyway, so we have the Judgment card. It's a beautiful card. It is letting you know that there is a third aspect in your life. If you are in a relationship, then there is a higher power, a higher energy at play, helping the relationship. Whether it needs to carry on, helping it that way. Whether it needs to finish, helping it that way. And because of March, some of you are going through these kinds of things where there is relationship balance needed. And balance comes from if things were not really in a healthy place, then change had to happen. And the opportunity to bring it into a healthier place is right there. You have free will. Always, as a human, you have free will. And as a human, I'm pretty inadequate. And so therefore, I simply ask the universe to show me, because I'm likely to do something rash. I am. Anywho. So the Judgment card. This says you yourself this month will be doing some reevaluation. You'll be reevaluating your life circumstances, what you have been doing, what you need to be doing. Is your life balanced? Look at whether there's too much work in your life. Is there too much work, or is there the opposite? Is there too much downtime? Balance is important this month, and it's likely that life events will bring that balance back for you. Definitely will show you what will bring the balance back, depending on where you are in your karmic cycle of things. Depends on if it's a big push or a small push, or just a suggestion. Okay? So we have Judgment this month for April. I like this card. I prefer when the universe takes over, because I know everything then will be perfect. Everything then will be better for me personally. When the universe takes over, everything is to benefit you. It is to make your life better for you, to improve your life, to improve you, to improve everything that's going on in your life. Every time, people, every time. We again have the Hermit this month, and the Hermit is exactly what I said about March. So this continues. You have guidance, you have help, you have somebody invisible giving you a nudge over here, showing you something over here, trying to get your attention in some way. I always say this, because I've done this my whole life. Pretend you've got somebody around you who you can't see, and you talk to them in your head, okay? Always advisable if you're in public. Just talk to them in your head and check in. It's like, what do you reckon? Show me. Or, why is this happening? And then forget about it, wander around, and somewhere in front of you at some point, there will be the answer to what you asked, okay? Depending on how closely you trust information to come, depends on how clearly and quickly it can come as well, okay? So be patient. Guidance is there. You will see things. You will pick up on things. It is not something that you have to worry about. If you are too busy in your life, you may miss the first one, but they tend to be persistent. When it's guidance from Spirit, they tend to repeat. So if there are words that repeat in your head, take notice. If there is the same thing happening again with a person that's a different person, but the same thing has come up again, they might have said something about something or about something you've done. Please listen. If it comes up 3 times with 3 different people, it's actually true. And whatever part of you needs to kind of connect with that, just connect in with it. It's like, seriously, something that will improve your life if you change it. That's why you're told about it. It's the only reason you're told about it, is that because you can change it. So you have guidance. There is guidance, spirit, help. So valuable in every little thing that I do. And yes, absolutely, you can think, I don't get answered. Okay, I get it. Like, seriously, because they're not going to go da-da-da-da-da-da necessarily. I mean, they do to me sometimes before I even ask the question, which is frustrating, because sometimes I think I just want to get the question out. Other times it's like they're silent, like they're on mute, like, seriously, where are you? Like, what's going on? And that's because you just have to carry on. There's something you need to do first. There's something that you need to notice first. Or maybe you're just too busy to listen properly. But the answer will come. So the next one we've got for April, so this is our April. Now, we did not have this last month. We had the Magician that came out last month in March. So the Magician said last month, this is in your hands. Whatever happened to you in March, this is in your hands. You can fix this. You can make this better or worse. You have the skills necessary to be able to handle this well. You will have to use willpower. Okay? You will have to use willpower. So that was last month. This month, we have guidance, primarily so much guidance. If you take the Karma card, which is your destiny card, which is that you are lining up on your life path properly. And if you are lined up, great. You will have other things that will help come your way. You have guidance that will put you on your life path if you're not on your life path. So every situation, every interaction with a person actually has meaning this month for all of you. And see what you notice. See if there's a theme. See if there is a trend. See if you're getting similar messages, because these messages are actually coming from far beyond you that are helpful to you, they're an advantage to your life. It's right at this point that you actually launch yourself in April. This is the world as we have it. This card says there is a new you that will emerge. You are now free. You have a new freedom. You have a new kind of like less responsibility. You are now able to emerge as the butterfly. You are now able to be all that you are. And I get it. I know that if you've been all comfortable in your life, it is the last thing that you want, to actually be free, to actually express yourself, be yourself, do things yourself that are important to you. And depending on how much attention you've paid to yourself, seriously, if you've had children and they're leaving home, it is that's a big tough step. You now can really discover what you enjoy about life, what you know about yourself. You can do new things to learn more things about yourself. So freedom is part of this whole realigning you with your life path, with your destiny, and every situation, circumstance, interaction that you have, particularly the ones you notice, have an absolute input into your life going forward in the way it was meant to, as an aid, as a help, as a support. You are 100% supported. You are guided. They support as they guide. Okay? You are being shown the way. You're being shown the way along your path, and you have... Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry. We lost video there. So apologies if you've been watching it on video. I will carry on. And so we were talking about freedom. We were talking about being able to get out there in a bigger, bolder way. It's like show off your skills, your talents, put it on different media, do all of that, any of that, that expresses the new you, the person you want to be, the person that you dreamed you could be. I'm just going to take one more card for April. And we've got the Justice card. So the Justice card is about decisions. This April is a good month. At the end of April, perhaps last week, where you can actually make some clear decisions about yourself and your life going forward. So you might look at yourself and judge yourself a little bit this month also. Judging ourselves is just about reevaluating things in a different way and looking at how you can improve yourself, how you can improve your life. So the decisions that you come up with, if you've considered them, are 100% right for you. But you will know this because we feel things instinctively. We feel inside, yes, this is the right decision. maybe no, it's not the right decision. So I am going to actually expand a little bit just to see what else comes out with the cards for April. These aren't quite so important life story cards. It says that there could be stress around you this month, that everything has gotten to a point where when you're dealing with other people, it's just a bit snippy, argumentative. It's just not, it's just tough. So just be aware of that. I would just say to you, this is absolutely a month where karma and destiny play out. Choose, do you want to get involved in an argument? Is it worth getting involved in it? Or is it better just to let everything sort itself out? Any drama sort itself out? Any people dispute sort itself out? Because what it's advising is this is too big an important month for you personally to get involved in any drama. Instead of it being conflicting, so let's say you were in a situation where there was a big change going on, or some sort of dispute over something, and you were kind of part of it, but do you have to be part of it? It's a choice. And because this is your kind of like karma, destiny is calling and karma is playing out, choose which karma you want to get involved with. Stick with your own direction. Destiny would be my my advice. Okay? So, avoid stress, not your karma is actually the best way to approach it. It is other people's drama, karma, it's not yours. And then there are going to be emotional aspects, ups and downs that come along. For you, if you actually decide, no, if you step out of your comfort zone, if you step up a notch in your life, there are surprises. These are lovely little surprises that can come along. And from people, the way that people kind of like appreciate you and, just nice little happenings, nice little things occurring with people. So then we've also got, because, once one falls out, they all start to fall out, don't they? Right, so this is a month to be confident. It's kind of like stand your ground with what you're doing and who you are and what you're hoping to do. It's like stand your ground without having to argue your point. This says you don't have to argue your point. This says, just let it all go. It's not your stress unless you make it. It's like you're beyond that. Not necessarily above it, but beyond it. What it also says this month is, as far as any family dynamic, right? So we're talking families and maybe people haven't been getting on, or maybe you've been dealing with things with a relative who's deceased and families all at odds with each other over different things, or maybe there's one family member. This says that those disputes can be settled in April. There's a much more peaceful, harmonious vibe that comes in. And especially if you don't get involved with the drama and the dramatics of this person doing this and whatever, if you just take a step back, deal with the facts, deal with, hey, how are we going to approach it? Ask for cooperation. It changes that whole dynamic around. So there is, as I said, family stuff, but there's also this, if you've been waiting to see results, waiting to see how things are going to work out, but nothing really has come to fruition, nothing really has shown itself as being worth the effort, then this month you will see it. There are benefits that come, there are rewards that come, and there's a sense of satisfaction, the sense of achievement, accomplishment. This is one of those months where it's powerful in a lot of ways, but it's in line with who you are as a person, your path, your destiny. And that is for everyone, and it can happen that way for everyone, but it always, as we know, it's always different for each person, depending on where they're at. So for the people out there who have wronged you, that you feel have wronged you or who have deliberately targeted you in some way, April is a month of telling. They will see the effects of what they have done. There's something about you as a human being. This is everybody. We have a conscience. Even people who don't seem to have a conscience, there is time that they do have a conscience, and then everything catches up with them. We have a conscience. We can't avoid our conscience. Our conscience absolutely knows if we have done good, if we have done the best. Our conscience knows that. Now, there's a little bit of a problem with conscience in some ways, is that if you were punished as a child, you might have a guilty conscience, and you might have a guilty conscience over everything that nobody feels guilt over. I discovered something. So my back went out. It went out and it was the middle of my back. And the middle of my back is about guilt. And I was puzzled. Guilt. What was I guilty of? In the situation that I'm in, I was innocent. And to me, I was 100% innocent. So guilt, what was I guilty about? And I wrote stuff down. Seriously, writing stuff down. And when you can't talk to a person, you must write things down, okay? Especially if you've got a person who won't answer you. And writing it down, I actually discovered a lot. I went back to my childhood. There were everything that we ever did made me feel guilty because I never did it good enough. I never did it right. I always broke something or messed it up or whatever. I've carried this my whole life, this whole guilt about this. In the end, I decided to look more deeply into the guilt. And I've discovered that I was guilty of not being good enough for a person. And that fitted for me. 100%. I was never good enough in my parents' eyes. I was never good enough in anybody's eyes. I measured myself to be better, to be better, to be better. I tried to be all of those things to everybody. Fail, because you can't be everything to everybody. And even though I had dealt with all of those things, I still had this inside me. And so my back going out, you see, any part of your body that has any kind of ailment or distress is telling you some information that you have put there, okay? It's actually going to reveal it to you. And a good way to do that is to Google two people, Annette Noontil, Noontil, Annette Noontil, and Louise Hayes, of course. They both have a kind of like a dictionary on body parts. And if you have a sore knee, it's because you're not able to see ahead and move forward. Well, mostly move forward with flexibility. So the back, in the middle of the back, is guilt. And so that took a little bit of searching, since the situation was I was 100% innocent. But the guilt was that nobody else knew I was innocent, and that I couldn't make them see that I was innocent. And I felt guilty about not being good enough for them to even think those things in the first place. So when you are looking at things, look deeper. It's not just the absolute meaning you see written. there's more to it, and discovering that for yourself and what your truth is magical, and it's necessary, because otherwise you're misinformed. You're carrying around less information than what is necessary. So let's have one little last look at April. And by the way, if you want to come and see me, please do. 027 4166 545. I do face-to-face readings. I do over-the-phone readings. I do messenger readings, WhatsApp meetings, Skype readings. So there are lots of different ways. You don't even have to leave your home. I do readings for overseas. Time difference is all we have to work out, and that is not a problem. So, one more card for April, and we'll finish there. So this is the key thing, right? You. Use your creativity this month. It will come to the fore. Part of your life path and destiny has a creative aspect of you. You don't have to be a painter. You might want to do gardens. You might just feel like having a flair for what you wear. It doesn't matter, but your creativity comes out this month. And please be in touch with nature. So nature will feed you, and it's autumn, so getting those last glimpses of sunshine, being around the green, the trees, all that kind of stuff, that's absolutely helpful to you. So this has been Radio Hawke's Bay, your community radio. Please think about if you've got a skill or not even a skill, if you just have something to say, please give yourself a chance to get it said, okay? Radio Kidnappers, I've been Gail. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you want to contact me, I'm available. Thank you. Have an awesome month. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Thank you.
This program was produced by and first broadcast on Radio Hawke's Bay, your community access media station. Thanks to New Zealand On Air for making this type of programming possible.